Hope everyone's good. What's up, Jake? Scott's in the house. John Cooper's in the house, here to handle your all your tech needs. Hope everyone's doing good. A little Valentine's Day stream. Alan's here. Cold Canada, huh? Yeah. Anthony's here too, man. Good to see you guys hanging out. Oh, we'll for sure get into that, Scott. He wants some stories about Gramsci. This isn't polished out. I'm just kind of hanging out a little bit, just kind of like working on this arrangement, you know. Figured I'd test it out on you guys and see what you thought. It is Everlong. Just kind of messing with it. I love taking those like 90s songs and kind of messing with them, making them a little more guitar instrumental, you know, playing through changes. had a bass player. Atticus is saying, name that song, Everlong. Here we go. Back into the verse. Yeah, man. Oh, what's up, everyone? My cousin's texting me. I ain't got to see him very much, man. Saying he's going to visit our grandmother, which is kind of nice. Valentine's Day is a tough day around this house. It is it's 1 year since I buried my granddad, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the video, kind of teaching you how to play an old tune called the 8th of January. If you mandolin players out there, go check that out. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really have that. Yeah, Gary, it's tuned in drop D. Yeah, kind of saw Sean Tubbs get in here. I had to play a flat 9 for him, dude. I tell y'all think I'm kidding, man. Sean Tubbs is the most terrifying guitar player I've seen in years, man. Just outdo anybody at their own game, man. It's really crazy how good that guy is. Let's go over here in the chat. But yeah, the songs or the guitar is tuned down to drop D. I'll have to go back here and get a different guitar here in a little bit. With the I can't just tune it up because this has got the floating trim, you know. This was my first Sir, too. But I love it, you know. The only part that I hadn't figured out how to do at the same time is this. With the... that thing, the I Wonder thing. Yeah, it's been a year since we buried my granddad, and my cousin's going over to spend some time with my grandmother. Hopefully I'll get to see her later tonight. That's the plan. Many appreciations and virtual hugs to you guys for being so cool regarding that topic. I heard got a lot of messages from you dudes talking about your relationship with those that got you started in music, parents or grandparents or whatever. Is really, really, really heartwarming, man. Really, really amazing stuff. I'm just kind of getting caught up here. Welcome. I think it's just, we're in that welcoming phase. Doing the stream today on a Monday. I've got to be out of town this week. So figured just kind of do the stream on the Monday. You're saying what stream is that? Well, it's the logo is just like right there. Boom. It's that stream. Vidami. You're like, what's a Vidami? This is a Vidami. You can get them with a cord. You can get them without a cord. You want to plug it straight into a dock? No problem. You want to go Bluetooth? I like the Bluetooth one a lot. Man, what if you're not even playing guitar and you're cooking, and you don't want to get chicken grease on your iPad? You can use Vidami. And basically, here's the functions. I'll hold that up there. You can pause stuff, stop stuff, go backwards, go forwards, control the speed. You can slow it down. Then once you got it at a certain tempo, you can speed it back up. And you can loop it. So there's a lot of functions there. I don't want to bore you to death with the ins and outs. You guys know what you're doing. It's funny, man. It's like guitar guys. You can just hand them a pedal, like Strymon or the UA stuff. It's super complicated, and in 10 minutes, guitar guys are getting great sounds out of it. So Vidami's awesome. It's all self-explanatory right there. I want you to go check that out. Maybe after the stream, if you're trying to learn stuff. Really, that's the thing. When we're guitar players, we're trying to maybe work on that version of Everlong, trying to learn like how maybe I got from here that where you're trying and you missed a voicing. Instead of having to get in there and hit the pause with the hands, you can keep your hands on your instrument and control the starting and the stopping and the looping functions from Vidami with your feet. It's really killer. I use it a lot. I try to maintain the fact of only talk about the things that I actually use. So I also speaking on that note, got some messages from some folks asking about favorite delays. And I thought that might be a nice place to start. See, I love having really organic delays, but a lot of times when you're submitting tracks for a producer or maybe recording for yourself, you using the delays in the box can get you a really clean sound. By in the box, I mean in a DAW, or maybe even like what I'm doing right now, which is the aux box. I've got the delay kind of panned really dark. I like to have it bouncing like the old school stereo trick where it's like 375 and 500. I like that thing, get that dotted eighth kind of sound. And I roll off the top end. Like my top end roll off is pretty dark, maybe 2K, 1.8, something like that. That way I can play and it almost turns into a reverb. And if you play something hot and flashy, all the notes really poke out, Like there, you kind of hear every single note, good and bad. So if you play something sloppy, it doesn't cut through, Doing those palm music, all that stuff kind of comes through, and all that stuff kind of pokes out. So I like to have the delays really dark. So one of the things I look for in a delay is being able to control that top end. I like a little bit of modulation or whatever on there when I can get it. But just being able to shave that top end down helps me so much. Kind of, play, like have that, like I said, that like it's almost a reverb, but it's not as, doesn't do that as much. Anthony here saying sounded too familiar at first. Threw me when he said working on this. Thought it was something different. Yeah, eerily similar. No, I was working on the arrangement. I've been listening to so much like 90s alternative, early 2000s alternative, and so much of that stuff's got really pretty voicings in the those drop kind of. That kind of thing, And I love to just play on one string. another pretty one, right? Anybody know the name of that one? I'm going to give you that melody one more time. Check it out. That's it. You guys know that one? Do you guys know the name of that one right there? 90s. Jay got it. Yeah, Smash. Alan got it too. Right. Was it 2 or? Yeah, it's 2. Play on this tone all day, man. It's just so good, man. And I love to have that, like I said, that delay kind of be in that bed to kind of voicings. Yeah. One guy says hitting that Kenny G spot. I like that. That is now taken. I'm going to use that probably forever. Is it a family show anymore? I don't even know. Oh, gosh. Yeah, 1979 is the name of that tune. Great song. Love it. Tones. Man, you know the secret to my tones? Woodshed compressor. Love it. That's this in-between kind of thing I got. I'm going to take that compressor off and show you what's happening. Here's the bell. The bell and the compressor. I'm going to take the compressor off. Here's without it. I'm going to turn it on. That chewiness. Yeah. A little bit of the Ashokan Farewell, a very loose arrangement. It was my granddad's favorite slow song. If you ever heard Ashokan Farewell, or maybe you're a history buff, maybe you got some folks out there that are kind of history buffs. There's a Ken Burns documentary that was the Civil War. Jay Ungar wrote that, and very popular version This is on Mark O'Connor's record. Yeah, thank you, DJ. Really, really, really hits me here with my granddad. How come this is what I hear when I play, but the recordings of it sound completely different? Oh, man. Oh, gosh. I don't know. Sorry if I just kind of lost myself there for a minute. Just kind of vibed out. It's just feeling like that kind of day, man. It's like bittersweet, you know? You guys have that kind of feeling, you know? I know it's going to be a busy night. A lot of folks are going to have to be on their best behavior for Valentine's Day. Alan says he would love to see a post by Granddad and my cousin on fiddle. You can do that. I'll dig that up maybe for Patreon. I've got some stuff that I've never released, and if you guys aren't familiar, I'm not going to bore you with a sales pitch, but my Patreon's a good place to go learn this kind of stuff. Some of our community members are in here, Woodshed community guys, and they'll tell you we have a really great hang. We do a lot of master classes, and you get access to, gosh, I don't know, some 300 videos that are on there, lesson videos. There's tone walkthroughs and all that kind of stuff. Go check it out if you feel so inclined. If you've never used Patreon, the easiest way I describe it is it's a social media site where you can subscribe to somebody's content. And for me, it allows me to, make a little bit of stuff out there that goes to the world, for free or whatever. I don't know how to word it, but make free content. And then if you subscribe, I can get you access to a lot of cool stuff that's exclusive, All that also includes like tabs and backing tracks and all the industry standard fare. I think if anybody were to ask me what makes my little community special is it's more community based than anything. There's a lot of interaction, a lot of great guys over there hanging out. Yeah, man, hit that like button. Why not? Subscribe while you're at it. All those housekeeping isms. Wise Guy said, "Hey, Wise Guy, how you doing, brother?" Says you just got here. What am I playing through today? Nice violinish tone. Okay, the violin tone was just the gearbox. This is literally just gearbox into a Cerbella into aux. I gotta sit for that high gain violin thing, Eric John, shades of Eric. That kind of thing. And then I've got one of my other favorite presets I've got here is the Sir Woodshed Compressor into the Wampler Bell. All the stuff you've been hearing so far today. Man, that compressor just brings notes to life. And I can still roll the volume. You ever notice with most compressors, you can't really work the volume knob? Like it's always just the same volume. I think that's one of the details that we nailed. And the delay is happening at the courtesy of the Universal Audio aux, and that literally is a signal chain. I have 4 items till it hits the computer. I have the gearbox, the Bella, and the aux. Or I have the Woodshed compressor, the bell, the Bella, and the aux. So at most you're literally hearing just 4 things. It's like this. Like I've discovered that signal chains get real cloudy. The more stuff you start adding. One of the things I've learned from my personal Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's Mr. Andy Timmons. He has been so kind and generous with his knowledge to me over the past few years. Really, really helping me be a better player. I don't think he realizes it. AT, if you're watching this, I don't think you realize how much you helped me. One of the things that really got my ear open was being around him and understanding. He always has a fabulous sound. None of his volume and wah pedals are always on. They're on a loop. So when he's not using them, they're gone. So I went back to the looping system that I used when I was on tour with Rascal Flatts, and I always had fond memories of my tone on that tour. And I didn't realize it's because, my signal's not passing through stuff that I'm not using. Right. So a lot of great loopers out there, the fine folks at the pedal show, you got, Mick and Dan, and those guys make a great gig rig. Check that out. I actually use the RJM Mastermind. It's great. If you're on a budget, and you got to keep the dollar spending down. I think that boss one's really good. You know, I think looping setups kind of have to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like if you want a really pristine kind of tone. So thanks for the compliments on the sound, wise guy. That's it, bro. That's literally what I'm using. Michael Rizzo. Hey Andy, how's it going? Do you know that that just sounds great? I don't like fuzz, and it just sounds so smooth and it's not harsh. Same, Michael. That's the thing for me, is like I can't stand that like harsh. I don't want to feel like I'm shopping at the table saw section at Lowe's. You know what I mean? Just that real toothy. That ain't for me. I don't like that. I like a real musical kind of gain structure. Not to say that you can't have top end. Like here's the Andy Timmons pedal, and I've got it set for a rock kind of thing, and it's got a lot more top end in it, you know. Sorry, it's clipping a little bit. It's got a lot of gas in the tank. So even with the super high gain stuff, I don't like that fizzy. I don't like that fizz. That ain't for me, man. Randy Heston's in the house. Good to see you, Randy. Let's see what we got here. Most of my sessions are comped. I don't know what I don't know if you're talking to me or not, Pooh Ninja, but it's good to see you. I've seen you kind of hanging out before. Brett says nice camera config. Thank you, Brett. Been trying to work to improve the game. All the little donations that you guys make, the little $5 and $10 donations, I try to just squirrel that away and use it to buy more gear to improve this. So as you guys put money in, I'm trying to put it right back out for you guys, make it improve the game. Nathan here says something really got me interested. Nathan says guitar is mental health medicine. Ooh. Oh man, that's powerful. I'm going to say that one more time. Nathan here says guitar is mental health medicine. I'll tell you what, I have struggled my whole life with verbalizing emotions. I've never been real good at it. And music's always been that kind of that method for me to kind of say something that I don't like saying. I don't like getting emotional. It never feels good. I'm trying to improve it, but guitar is mental health medicine. For me, it is too, Nathan. That's really powerful. And I think a lot of times we get so obsessed with trying to acquire more licks and acquire more tricks that we forget what's the reason that we're doing this. You know, what is the reason? Do you have to have a toolkit do you have to have a Holdsworth size toolkit before you can just shut up and play music? I don't think so. Paul McCartney didn't. Lord knows he couldn't do an eighth of the things that Alan Holdsworth can. But I don't think any of us would say he's an eighth of the musician. Right? I don't think anybody would say that in their right mind. He just had a different toolkit. And I think it's important for you guys. I think I could say this. Probably everybody in this room right here, probably everybody in this room can just strum 3 chords. Right? Everybody in here knows G, D, and A. You could do it, you know, even just like this. You could just do... And it doesn't take a massive toolkit. You don't need to know all these scales. I'm gonna shoot down what the entire internet makes money on. You don't need it. You don't need it. You can put your front finger right here, make a G on those bottom 3. You can make an A here, and you make a D here. Let's say you can just use one string, the G. And you know your D major scale right there on the G string. You're just pentatonic. That's pentatonic scale right there. Super easy. Major pentatonic. First finger is where the root is. You can make music, dude. That's a nice one. Maybe that one wouldn't be for the first round. But you can just take all of this major scale stuff, add in the 7, the major 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make music. I don't know what I'm playing. Just a simple melody. Put a root in the bottom. Playing the guitar long ways like this is really helpful. This is one of the things I talk about with my students a lot. Let me just take a second here and one of my students, a lot of my students, when I ask them to play up the neck and down the neck, they're used to maybe playing in boxes and then maybe stopping again, or they're only used to playing in minor keys, right? Just that thing. Like that bluesy pentatonic is as major as they get. So I like to take them back to just major scale. And then put them on one string. And I see a lot of guys will go. And they're only playing the note that's next to the note that they know. Where your only relation to anything that you have and any knowledge that you can access on the fretboard is because you're looking at the 4 fingers that you have right here. You're not seeing the guitar as a whole, right? So for me, when I see the key of D on the G string, I know that I've got 4, 5, 1, 3, 5. Look how far that distance is. From here to here. The Van Halen thing, right? That's a long way to go. So when you think about playing something musical, it's rarely going to be the thing that's right next to it, and then you move again, and it's the thing that's right next to it, and then you move again. It's rarely that thing. It's more something that's jumping a good distance. Like if I played this, you guys will probably think it's really easy, really nice, right? But what if you went? So basically, I'm just trying to get you to think about, while you're bored and practice, or maybe you get tired of what it means to practice. We get caught in this trap of practice is time to sit down, find some lesson on YouTube or TrueFire or JamPlay or whatever. All great platforms, by the way, all great platforms. I work with them. They're all great. But you sit down and it's treated as something that is meant to be like Hail Marys. You end up spending 45 minutes or an hour messing around with your pedals and your amp, and then you realize you've been sitting there for an hour and a half and all you've done is played the same lick that you played for 12 months or 6 weeks or whatever. I believe to grow yourself as a player, you have to grow creativity. It has to be a muscle that is worked out like every other muscle in your hands, knowledge of theory, timing. Creativity has to be flexed, and it has to be worked and whittled on. And a lot of times you can get your creativity into a nice spot by just sitting down for 45 minutes or half an hour or whatever, and instead of going and poking at your rig, and adjusting and being like, oh man, if I just bought this one more thing, I'll sound like so-and-so. Man, no. No. It ain't like that. Instead of poking around at your rig or like sitting and playing the same thing you've always played, just say, hey, what's one chord? And then can you play a melody around that? Let's do this game with you guys right now. I'm going to show you how to practice. I want someone in chat to give me a singular note, a root note. Remember, I'm in drop D, so, bass is going to be more towards D. Give me a root note. Somebody just a note. Just say a note over here in chat. I'm going to hang loose till I see it. Thank you for the kind words on the tone. This is actually my Bella, using just clean amp. Somebody over here in super chat, give me a note. Give me one singular note. Any letter. E flat, F. Now people are coming in. Let's do F because I got a D open string. So let's say F, and that'll give me my minor, right? I just jumped in on Alan's because he's got F. Yeah, Tim said F. Yeah, here's F. Keki says D since I'm in drop D. Let's use F so I get D minor. So my job would be like, in my practice time, I'm going to try to show you here what I'm talking about. To sit down for 30 or 40 minutes and flex and work out your creativity, give yourself 2 chords. Let's go F and D minor. So before you start digging in and playing your favorite rock lick, doing the same thing that we always do, or your favorite Paul Gilbertism, slow down and give yourself a chance to come up with a melody. Look at the notes you got to choose from. Just natural minor, F major scale. So now we got to find a melody in there. Let's find us a melody. That's nice. Let's find another one. Ooh, I like that. I like that 9. So now we've got a 9 on top. Like maybe this. I want to hear another chord. I want to hear like a right. So I'm trying to just spend as much time developing what that might be. What if it's 6/8, you know? so much time. I tell everybody this, I don't really practice. But what I did just now is how I practice. But I just play the guitar. I'm looking for things. I'm searching for melodies. And by doing that, I'm not looking at like all these options and all these licks that I can blaze through and try to play all the notes all the time. It's like, here's a bunch of hot licks that are just everywhere. Like, that's not really helping me achieve what I think, was it Nathan that said it? Mental health. Yeah, it was Nathan. Getting some peace, using a limited toolkit to express yourself, getting back to just fundamental basics. Are you creating a groove that feels good? Is that where you're starting? Are you possibly worrying too much about gear? Is that an issue? Do you really think you need more chops, or are you taking advantage of how many chops that you already have? Like, I know most guys can play through minor pentatonic. I know most guys can play through that. But like, I also realize a lot of guys, they get on a jam and they shut down when it's time to play a melody, Like, it's really about being able to tell a story. Like, we love music because it's storytelling and in a different format. And we all see guys, and what makes us connect with certain players and not connect with certain players is the stories that they're telling. And I think that therapy, that mental health therapy, is like, man, are you telling stories, or are you just trying to acquire more licks and chops? Like, what are you going to do with them? I said this on a stream one time. I was like, if you got the infinity gauntlet of guitar and you got timing, harmony, chops, and they're all there, it's like, what will you play then? If you could literally play anything, what would you play? That's a big question for your practice time. Can you tell me a story with just simple chords? Or is it... looking for the chord tones, the thirds. When I'm going to this G minor, I'm thinking about that B flat. I'm thinking about that F sharp a lot over top of that D. And if you want to learn that lick right there, just use your Vidami, right? You slow that down. For those kind of things. Those are the silliness that I talk about, where it's like, do you really need that to tell a story, or can you go, oh, sorry, I can't even do it. You don't need it. that earlier. Trying to some of the almost Steve Vai-isms, you know? That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, that's it. I can't do it now. It's hard to tap like Steve, and it's like, obviously I'm not good at it. I was trying to work on it a little bit earlier this morning. I kind of use the morning to kind of just loosen up, play, poke around with silly stuff, and then the rest of the day, you know, try to zone in. You know, try to zone into something. You got to be a conduit, you know? You got to be open to something. And then when you hear something in your head, it's okay to chase it. Like I think that was the lick I was working on earlier. Oh. That's how I was moving around it, yeah. Yeah, man. 2 chords, D and G minor. And I could spend 3 hours on it, you know. Taking just a second here to kind of show you what Vidami does. Thank you to our lovely sponsor for making this happen. You guys got to understand it's super hard to stream on a regular basis. It just really is. And Vidami's the folks that are making this happen. So let's just bring up one. Let's just do, I think I had some questions about Back to Austin. So I'm going to bring that up on the old YouTube here. YouTube machine. We got a lovely Sir live in the studio version of this song, which is great. There we go. Right on. So if like we're trying to learn this, let's get to something tricky. Let's get something. This is the Sir live in the studio. Yeah, here's a great example. So if like you're gonna try to learn something, you loop it. And now I can just loop it in and out, right? Pause it and start it. Controlling YouTube, slow it down. That's the loop resetting. And this was a really cool video. This was a really cool video. It was live in the studio over at in Southern California at Jules Rodriguez's place. So if you you got it at speed and you want to go back to a regular speed, there it is. And exit out by just simply holding that right there. And that is how easy this thing is to use. I think it's the jam. I think it's the way of the future. Super easy to use. Thanks, Vidami family, for making the stream happen. And you guys check that thing out. It's cool. I don't have to say much more than that. It is freaking cool. Okay, let's get back in here to, we got a few minutes left here, approaching witching hour. Sorry I played so much today, guys. I just played a lot of guitar. I don't know why. It's just, instead of doing what I should do and talking to you guys, I just did a lot of picking. Let's check out what we got going on in chat here. Rock Guitar School says melody has to be in your heart. It does, man. And sometimes it's just as simple as allowing yourself to be a conduit for it. Does that make sense? It's just being open to allow yourself to do it. By that, you have to, hear chords. Let me go. I got to open up this other window so I can see what I got going on. Great. Cool. You got to be able to just hear notes in chords. 1, right? 3, 5. And be able to understand what they sound like in different places. That's all just playing around that 3 and 5, right? like I was just hearing Danny Boy just then. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean by being a conduit, is like I was just trying to give an example of like listening. Like, take a second when you're putting your fingers down. Don't watch what you're playing. Listen to what you're playing. Can you hear what stuff sounds like without playing the notes on the guitar? Can you just know, if you hear the bass line, what that third sounds like? I hear them all right there. There they are. It's not just something not just this thing. Like, people say triads and they just make it a thing that sits all together. Let me put my hand in frame. Sorry. They just make it a thing that all just sits together. Like, oh, there's your chord tones. They're supposed to be close. But no, man. Guitar could be one string that was really, really long. And it would still be the thing if you could get around it. You know, we have to have multiple strings to make it playable. But your guitar tone, I mean, the singability thing comes from playing horizontally. Right? That was jumping all over the neck to go. Like, I could have done it all right here, but there's no sexiness to it. There's no vibe. It's Valentine's Day. You gotta have a little sexy. Maybe we can have this. Right? Yeah, you gotta be a conduit, right? Jay says it's never the flashy licks that makes the fingertips hurt. It's always the nailing the simple stuff. Absolutely, because that's where the control is. The fingertip is really having to work hard to control the string, manipulate the bend, control the slide, the accuracy. That's where the calluses and that thing comes from. Sorry, I got tongue tied. Brad Hafner in the house. Hey, Brad, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. A lot of lovely Woodshed members in the house. Take a special moment to thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you want to be a part of that community, patreon.com/Andy Wood Music. Get on in that Woodshed. Hang out with us. We've got a great crew of guys. We've got a private Discord server. All that stuff. All of that stuff is there, man. Thank you guys for spending a little Valentine's Day here with us. Weston is saying, these sessions are super helpful and insightful. Thanks, brother. Man, Weston, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you, my friend. I'm jumping down now. I feel like you guys have been hanging out and been so patient while I've just been noodling, you know, just navigating this drop D guitar. I used to play in drop D all the time, down from up, all the time. Now I don't really do it as much anymore, but I do love it. If you're interested in learning that version of Everlong, I just posted that to Patreon. You can also see that there, which is good. Osley with the $5. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Crisp high fives to you. Hope you have a great Valentine's Day. And I appreciate that, man. A little beer money here for Valentine's Day. We got Brent Johnson saying, how many hours a day do I play average? Gosh, I don't know. It varies. I've always got a guitar noodling around in my hands. I think my most played guitar at home is a cheap $600 SE PRS acoustic that lives in the actual house upstairs, and it's just always next to the couch with really crusty strings, and I play that thing all the time. So yeah, shout out to Bevan, Rich, and Paul, my PRS family over there. Thank you guys. I play the crap out of that little SE. Also, when I'm down here in the studio, as you can tell, most everything is Sir. And then what you're hearing today is the Universal Audio aux, gearbox, Woodshed compressor, and a bell. That's it. Yep. I play a lot, though. I just kind of hang out. Ryan Lester is saying that tone is ripping, super crispy. It's really, really appreciated, Ryan. I appreciate that so much, man. Peter, good to see you. It looks like, man, we're a little over. I'm going to keep rolling here just for a minute, just to finish out some questions here for you guys. Nothing like getting that D-drone going under some melody. That's right. That's right, man. The rewind on cassette used to work okay until Steve Morslicks came around. Hey, man, now you got Steve Morslicks, courtesy slowing that thing down with a Vidami and learn that stuff, right? Simply314 says, talk about why the divide among guitarists on Clapton's playing exists. You know what? That would be a great one for next week. The division of Clapton. Randy Heston, thank you for shouting out. Yep, go Woodshed Guitar Experience. Registration is now live. That's our 3-day camp right outside, about an hour out of Nashville, Tennessee. This year we've got an international lineup of Tom Quell, Martin Miller, Nick Johnston, Mark Letary, Greg Koch, myself, and who else knows? I mean, I got some people coming y'all don't even know about. It's going to be good, man. Going to be good. WoodshedGuitarExperience.com. Get registered. Only 105 or 120 slots total. I think we've already sold a handful. I think we already sold maybe 20 or 30. So very limited attendance. So if you want to go to that, you better sign up quick. It's going to sell out. Right here we go. Petey, thanks for hanging out. Also, make sure to go to Vidami.com. Check that thing out. Alan says, how's the recording coming along with Uncle Ben and Eli? It's awesome. I'm excited. You know, we had that little melody. There's a cool little melody that we wrote last week and got down, and man, I'm excited about that tune. So excited about that one. That's got like, man, I listen to Erotic Cakes 24/7 like everybody did. So there's a little bit of that like Guthrie thing, that slippery Guthrie thing in there, and I didn't realize it till Ben pointed it out. Ben's like, hey man, it's got that like Guthrie thing going on a little bit. I think Erotic Cakes is one of the greatest instrumental guitar records of all time. Guthrie, thank you for that contribution to the world. I know you may not see it like the rest of the world does, but boy, thank you very much, man. One of the greatest albums of all time for instrumental guitar. Weston, you have to be a Patreon member. As of right now, you have to be a Patreon member to join our Discord. If you are, this is to Weston Lawless, if you are a member of my Patreon, simply shoot me a message over there and I will send you the Discord link. That's it. William says, start over. Did I miss it? William, we'll see you next week, okay? We'll do it next week. You come in here, but you will be able to, I'll leave these up. You'll be able to rewatch this. I want to take this time to say thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thanks to Vidami. Thanks for the kind messages about my granddad. Please go check out that most recent Woodshed episode that was how to play mandolin. Go scope that. I remember sitting on my front porch with my grandfather and my cousin, and we were playing 8th of January and Soldier's Joy and Bonaparte's Retreat, all those tunes, Whiskey Before Breakfast, all those old fiddle tunes. And I thought it was really cool. I'm thinking about like every year that I'm here on Earth, I guess, not counting chickens. I mean, we could all be gone tomorrow, but like every year I'm going to upload a different fiddle tune that I used to play with my granddad. So I think I know more fiddle tunes than I have years left on Earth. So we'll keep that going. But go check that out, man. I thought that was fun. Thank you guys so much again for an amazing stream today. Great vibe, great hang. You know, you can do this stuff. This isn't music that's limited to the few. You know, I think everyone can sit down with 3 chords and make a melody happen. You just have to be open to it. You have to be a conduit, man. You have to stop playing guitar with your eyes. You have to stop playing guitar with tabs. You have to stop playing guitar trying to memorize where the buttons go. And you have to start listening to the melodies that are in the chord tones. Remember, we started with that song today, you know, and that's just listening for those chord tones. Where's that? 6, 5, right? We're going to a B minor and we're going to have that 9 on top. Beautiful. One of the best melodies I've ever heard. And I like to play it up high too, right? I like this right here. y'all so very much. We'll see you next week. It'll be back on schedule Tuesday. Actually, next week we may have to do Monday too. I'm playing the Opry next week, so tune into the Grand Ole Opry. Be playing that with Gary from Rascal Flatts. It'll be a good time. Thank you guys for hanging out. To my Patreon members, I'll see you guys later tonight for our masterclass. Cheers, guys.